Are you trying to run a webinar, but you can't get any signups, or you're getting some signups, but nobody's showing up? Well, the reality is that a webinar is the best way, quickest way to build authority and trust with prospect new cold audiences. And in this episode, we're going to show you how you can generate signups, how to increase your show up rates, and overall just host an effective, powerful webinar. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Renee here with Neon Tiger Media, helping businesses, entrepreneurs, coaches, real estate agents navigate the cold digital world. Don't get lost in the sauce, my friends. So, as I mentioned, a webinar is the best, most efficient way, quickest way where you can build trust and authority, one to many, where in instance you set up 50 calls and you have to sit through 50 calls, individuals. In this instance, you can have 50 people show up and you're selling one to many, building that trust and authority for your services and what you have to offer. Now, a lot of times people think that webinars are really only for people that are coaches, but it works great for everybody. Literally, you could be landscaping, you could be a real estate agent. We have a lender who's running workshops, as we're calling them, masterclasses, and she's closing deals, getting people to apply and generating tons of leads through hosting a masterclass. So hypothetical here in this quick instance, you could be a landscaper and you could literally host a workshop on how to build the ultimate escape in your backyard, right? Then you could lead with like stress or saying like how to build an oasis in your backyard that alleviates stress on a daily basis, right? And so your whole presentation can be on different components, how lights work, how different plants work, and feng shui and all the different parts. And at the end, you sell them to your service. So one to many, a format through a presentation where you can build that trust and authority. Now, really quick, before we continue, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know where you're watching. Let's continue. And so one of the biggest challenges with anybody when it comes to business is that we want to sell, right? We want leads and we want to sell, but then how do we manage leads? How do we build trust with leads? Without that, we can't sell. And a lot of us aren't trying to hop on a phone and be like Wolf of Wall Street and sit there and be like, hey, how's it going? And up and down and like, well, let's talk about objections, right? So a webinar is going to be probably the best experience. Russell Brunson says, hey, if you run a webinar a week for a whole year, you will not be broke. And we have a lot of coaches that are running webinars and they're literally, some are making 28K, some are making close to $1 million a month from the one-to-many format. So super effective. So number one of the main challenges that people have when running webinars is how to get signups. And the reality is that if you are more established, you have like 10K followers, 5,000, maybe 100,000 followers. If you post a link and you say, hey, sign up, I have a webinar, you're going to get people to sign up. And maybe if you're not getting as many as you'd like, we're going to tell you how. But if you're new, you're starting off, you're trying to grow your business and you know this is a great way to grow your business, but how do I get leads? I don't have followers. Well, it's through ads. So ads is going to be the quickest, most efficient way in which you can generate lead signups for your webinar. We have people that literally have 100 followers that are spending like $300 and they're getting well over 60 leads for their webinars. So you don't have to be fully established. And then for those of you that have big followings, the coaches that we have that are running ads, they're scaling and hitting those 1 million months, 30K months, 6-figure months because they're running ads. So ads are going to be the best method, and that's going to be through Meta Ads Manager running a proper leads campaign. And so your second key component in order to ensure that you're getting signups is going to be having an actual landing page. So if you're just saying, hey, link in my bio, or you're just saying like, send me a DM if you're interested, you want to create the path of least resistance. So if you are going to leverage something like on social where it's like comment, then use ManyChat and make sure that ManyChat then automatically sends them the link to a proper landing page. You don't just want to send them to a website where they're looking, where do I sign up? You don't want to manually enter them. You want a proper landing page. And so when it comes to landing pages, there's actually standalone platform landing pages they're tools, right? There's where you can build out landing pages. And so I want to not get lost here in the sauce and give you guys so many different tools and where it gets confusing. But the platform standalone tools of landing pages, where they hang their hat on is that they're most efficient to help you increase conversions, right? With speed, overall templates that they offer, kind of tactical. It's already embedded in there, a lot of just high performing conversion optimizations that are going to help you get more signups. So out of the 100 people that visit your page, how many are signing up component, being able to A/B and test, making sure buttons look good, a lot of the technical nerdy stuff. But that's a landing page tool, that's a platform that's going to That's what it's going to offer. Sorry, I'm fumbling because I'm trying to not get too technical and confuse you guys. Because we're going to touch up on CRM tools, and CRM tools have landing page builders already within them. So if you care much more about design like myself, I'm a graphic designer by nature, I went with Instapages. Lead Pages also is another great one. Has a lot of cool features. It's a standalone, but again, that's not a CRM. You'll still need the CRM component, but you'll see that some CRMs have landing page builders within them that work well. So depending where you're at, you can go the super robust way where you get the best of every tool and platform for everything and connect everything because you're good with tech. But if you're not trying to be convoluted with Zapier and setting up a whole bunch of different connections, you want to just kind of wait on for the CRM component that we're going to talk about. But at the end, sign up, have a landing page somewhere clear where they can sign up, give you the info for the webinar that you're hosting. When you run a leads campaign in Meta Ads, there's instant forms. So you don't even have to drive them to a page. They can sign up in platform. The things that you also want to consider is that you make it super easy for people. The quality kind of can go down. So make sure you add extra questions there so that they're qualified and they really want to join. They're not being impulsive. It was easy. And now you thought you had 100 leads and nobody showed up because they were just not the best leads. So landing page is always going to be really important for you to sell. Okay. And I don't want to give you guys like, oh, this is the exact format in which you should have, but obviously you want to be clear on what it is that you're offering, have testimonials, tell them about you. Who is this webinar for, right? What are they going to learn from this webinar? Keep it simple, be super robust. A lot of times when people think about marketing, we try getting magical and it doesn't need to be that. Just simply say, this is what it is. It's a 60-minute training on XYZ. This is who it's for, and this is what you'll get. And check it out. Here's some reviews. Reviews are going to help you get more signups if that becomes an issue. But honestly, we're not seeing many people struggling to get signups, especially when they're running ads, again, regardless of size. So your landing page where they sign up is going to be super important. And now moving on to what we talked about, which was a CRM, which is your client relationship management tool. And so there's a lot of CRMs for different industries. They all have different components. Some are better with this, some are better with that. I'm not going to get you lost in the sauce here. Go High Level and ActiveCampaign are going to be my favorites. I kind of hate Go High Level, but it's literally the best one. You could host courses. The automations are super easy. You could build out landing pages within there. You can send text messages. You have your sales pipelines. It's all in one. The caveat there is email. Email deliverability is not good. You have to be super intentional on setting up your correct dedicated domain. And then even then, they should have the capability to get a dedicated IP. But last time I checked, they ran out of IPs. And those things are super technical, but they come into play and can hurt you when you're not getting strong open rates. So if you go the Go High Level route, you need to make sure that you pay attention to the email setup and that you're super intentional when you're getting people after they sign up to go and check their inbox. Make sure that they're not in spam because that tends to happen a lot. And then the other one, when it comes to ActiveCampaign on email is flawless, incredible, 60, 70% open rates, lowest like 40 maybe if you're struggling, but that's where that tool hangs its hat. But it has great automation and CRM components. It is a little bit more intricate. It's more challenging to set up automations. So you do need to be a little bit more tech savvy if you're going to go that route. But the email component is covered well in there. But those two are the best. And then shout out to ClickFunnels. Russell Brunson, the OG, the master when it comes to webinars. He has his platform. I'm going to be honest, I'm not hating on it. I just don't like it. Super clunky, just not intuitive, but it's an all-in-one platform, same thing. So if you're interested, give it a look, not give it a shout. Check it out and it could be for you. Again, these are just tools at the end. Just find what's going to make it easier for you to set up so that you can manage. Now, let's talk about why you use a CRM, right? Because after they sign up, whether it be on your landing page or if, let's say they sign up on Instant Forms, you want it to connect to your CRM and you want them to receive like a confirmation email. Maybe you offered a freebie, so you want that already to happen automatically. You can literally just build these automations that are going to send out reminders. They're going to send out emails leading up to your webinar, kind of generating buzz, ensuring that they're like, oh man, again, you want people to show up, and we'll talk about show up rate later. And so CRM is super important when it comes to that, to ensuring that you're reminding, sending out links, being effective, text messages. Go High Level even lets you send out a voicemail. This tool is going to make sure that, again, helping you on the show up rate, but overall managing your leads as effective as possible So you're not sitting there trying to manage and do a bunch of stuff on your own. It becomes a mess when you're managing over 100 leads. As well, when it comes to post webinar, you have your webinar, you have people that attended, you have people that didn't. You want to have an automation for those that didn't attend so that it sends them the replay. And then also, guess what? Follows up with what you're selling for your services. And then maybe you have a tripwire so they don't buy into your services, but you have a smaller offer, a PDF, a course that's like $30. You set that up in automation and it's done. So you're not sitting there having to go build things out. Or how many leads did I have? Oh, shoot, let me build these emails. No, it's set. They signed up for the masterclass, your webinar, so to speak. It's done. You don't worry about them until you know when the transactions are happening, people are signing up, and you have that bird's eye view to know where they're at in their stages. Same for those that attended, right? You have a different automation. You don't want to send them the replay, but whatever, you're sending a different messaging to those individuals because they were there. And in that instance, even because you're doing your webinar live in person, you're interacting with these people, you can remember those different names, maybe add that personal touch, reach out, and the CRM is going to allow you to just in platform, hey, send that text message, send that email, overall just making not only their experience better, but for you being more effective on how you manage and nurture your leads for the overall long haul. And so the next thing that's going to be super important is your actual presentation. Some of you probably already have your presentation. Some of you don't have a presentation. You're like, where do I start? I'm going to tell you, even if you have a presentation and you want to make it better, look up Russell Brunson Perfect Webinar. First off, go buy the book. It's an old book, OG book, but it's literally to this day the most effective book that teaches the webinar component. But the Perfect Webinar outline, the funnel that it gives you is how to build out your presentation is the best one. And that's the format that you want to go. So you should be able to find a PDF that's going to give you an overview, but the book's going to give you more in detail tactically for how you set this up, this presentation, so that you can get what it is that you're trying to sell to this individual and close it as strong as possible, right? Because you're building trust and authority. You don't want to give too much information. You also don't want to give too little information or you're lost and you're confused. And so that structure is going to be super important. I do want to call out two key things that are super important, if anything, when it comes to that. Ask for permission at the beginning. Say, hey, let's make a deal. If I give you value today, if what you get today, it's awesome. It really helps you. It's what you thought it was. Can we make a deal that at the end, hey, I can share an offer with you? Like, just get the elephant out of the room that you do have something to offer. You know, could be for you, could not be for you, but hey, I'm going to share it. And you'd be surprised just what that's going to do for conversion rates, for what you're offering. And then also at the end, value stack. So when you're presenting your offer, make sure that you reveal each line as it is. So you don't want to get feature heavy. You want to focus on overall benefits, but you do want those values of what it is you're offering. So if there's like a community, if there's something that you're actually providing, right? If there's like a 1 hour coaching, that's like a $2,000 value, like put all of that, reveal them each by one as you break it down. Then show the total, and then you cross it out, and then you put your pricing for what you're offering it today. And that's just super strategic. That's going to help you again with selling. When I first started doing it, it felt grimy. Russell talks about that in the book. It could feel weird, but just do it. So again, get that book or just look up the Perfect Webinar Model. And that's the route that you want to go to. I don't want to convolute. Everybody's different. Once you read, you kind of realize you'll know how it's going to work best to your niche and what you have to offer. And then lastly, the main thing that's going to be is show up rates. We talked about that. Sometimes people get signups, but they don't get people to show up. So people with less authority and brand and 0 followers, they tend to get like around 10, 15% show up rates. While coaches, people that are a little bit more established, not coaches, but people that have like 100K followers, 10K followers, they'll get like 30, 26% show up rate. So you get 100 signups, expect 26 to 30%, right? So it's super important. That's why we talked about having that CRM component, that you're getting people the notifications appropriately. You're not missing emails. You're super strategic in the build up. That's going to help you with show up rates. But there's a few other things that are going to help you. You need to have a freebie that you give during the event itself. So you want people to not only show up, but stay until the end. I know when I started doing these, it was like, not only do I have to get people to show up, but now I need to have them stay to the end. And there's a video, Russell Brunson, again, because it's the OG and there's a lot of stuff out there. But one of the things he takes it to an extreme, and he's like, just whatever you're giving for free should be better than the actual offer itself. Like, if it's better than that, you're going to close. And it takes it to an extreme, but basically they show up at the end. It's like, oh, I got to stay to the end because I'm going to get that. Like, I want that. And then the offer is like a no-brainer because I'm already getting this and this. Like, dude, this is great. Yeah, sure. Where do I sign up? So try that. look into that. Just think about really putting emphasis and value in what you're giving, getting them to show up. It could be a coaching call. It could be you're giving away gear, depending what it be. Hey, we're giving a light away, it's 200. We're giving 100. Some people do Amazon gift cards. I've seen that. It's not my thing, but you'd be surprised. People show up. So just think about your audience, your people who you're targeting, and what's going to be effective and value that gets them to stay till the end, because you know that when you present, you build that trust and authority, they're going to want what you have to offer. And so, okay, that's it. Literally, again, the webinar game, it's it. It's a one-to-many. It's great. There are a lot of variables. It is a lot of work. It's a grind. It's going to take effort. But once you get this thing dialed in, there's no looking back. I mean, we're working with so many different coaches, different people in different industries. We have lenders. I have service businesses that are running the workshop component, some master classes, some live trainings, and they're all crushing it. It's the best way in which you can get a lot of leads with intentionality. They show up to a call. It feels less invasive because it's one-on-one. You build trust and authority. It's easier on you, and you'd be surprised. Again, we've got people that just started that are making like 28K a month. We have other coaches that are more established that are making like close to $1 million a month. It's never ending. And there's also people that they're grinding. They don't have a lot of followers. They don't have trust and authority. But this is the best way. You could post every day online. You could try SEO. You could try everything, but get yourself a webinar going, run ads, get leads, sign them up, manage them at your CRM system, create that killer landing page, knock them out with your presentation, work on all these different details to get your show up rates, on your closings, all the different components, keep getting better, but it's going to be the best method out there. It's true and tried. It's been going on forever. The .com Secrets is literally a super old book, and to this day, it's the most relevant thing, and everybody's using that method to generate a lot of sales. So that's it. Hey, down below, there's going to be resource links for those of you that are interested. Make sure you like, subscribe, connect with us on social media at Neon Tiger Media. And until next time, my friends, don't get lost in the sauce.